the Dark Ages, there were no white people. That's another thing that we have to explore. We have to explore how the greatest archaeologists of all time, Louis B. Leakey, Mary Leakey, and their offspring, they're the greatest highly regarded archaeologists of our time. The oldest remnants of fossil of skull that they could find was that of an African over 1.5 million years old, 1,500,000 years old. But the oldest non-African skull they was able to find was 500,000 years old, only 500 years old, which shows through archaeology that black people were here in a million years, but due to science, we were here 1 million years before there were any other than black folks here. I mean, I'm not trying to, the last thing I'm trying to do is mislead or misguide. And that's why I said earlier, and I continue to say, and I'm welcoming all comments, I'm welcoming all input, I'm welcoming all respectable response to everything I'm saying, because this is not myself trying to preach what I feel, my feelings. It's not Lorenzo Muntz's feelings. This is the feelings of a man who have experienced a history of oppression to his people and wants to know the reason why. And I would like to have a valid explanation to it all. The main thing that we know that's not covered is the debriefing. Okay, now the Emancipation Proclamation says, okay, all you slaves are free. But to what extent? After you've already been taken, your culture have been taken away, your language have been taken away, your ability to learn have been outlawed, and you've worked slave labor for nothing and earned nothing for your labor for 400 years. And then now, okay, you're free. How is that fair? How is that at all fair? That's, to me, is a question that remains to be answered. And the only one who doesn't want to answer it is the pig, that just has nothing but the mind of its own, that just wants to eat, and doesn't care about anything else, doesn't care about anybody else, and doesn't care about if anybody else eats. The pig, the hog. That's not and the person I'm talking about is when a person embodies the characteristics of a wild animal, a pig, a boar, or a hog, that creates a serious problem for humanity, because that person is demonstrating that no one else is worthy of eating than I am. And so that all has to be addressed, because we're all human and we're all being judged by God. Trust me, there's very few atheists. There's very few. Satan has a hooded blind menashe. Satan has very few followers, regardless to how you want to look at and how you want to go with the history of the world and the history of the life and the history of good and evil and the history of God and the devil. In most cases, the Darwin theory has been disproven. All of these theories of the Big Bang Theory, all of these things have been disproven, because it always comes back to one thing. Where did it come from? Who created it? And that brings us all back, the majority of us back, to our our great creator, whoever you want to call him, but majority of us call him God. So things are not gonna go, and they're not gonna continue to go in a way where God's people are going to be just oppressed, lynched, discredited, subhumanly bonded. It's gonna go. It's gonna be a limit. That's what the limits of that's where all of the histories of all of the holy books, of Noah, of Moses, of Jesus. God always he lets his will be done by miraculous ways. And he shows his disapproval for the negative energy of his creation. And then there's only a few survivors left to tell the story of what had happened. Lot. You know, these are true stories that we can't deny. These are stories of history, historical events that we can all identify with that have occurred, and places in the world. It's nothing new under the sun. They might change the names of some of the places, but it's still the same earth. So, no, we have to unify as a human family. And black folks, we have to model ourselves for our offspring. We have to be our best selves, and we have to put up with and deal with oppression and unfairness as it's been deemed to us. And we have to deal with it in a civilized manner and an intelligent manner. Because God's going to bless you according to your deeds. And I'm speaking of a person who was very angry at one time and was very unruly. I was born under Christianity and Baptist order. But through my intolerance for the unfairness and the oppression of my people, I struck out for a while at society. And it didn't get me anywhere, but right back to the beginning of being a civilized person and using civilized manner to make advances in life, to which I'm recently retired, and I don't need for anything, and I don't need anything but the graces of my Lord to continue to bless me. And that's what I want to share with everyone. God's going to bless you according to your deeds. And if you think you can make it without him, good luck on that, buddy. Because I've seen some different reactions. I've seen different results of people who chose different behavior. The behavior you choose is going to be the one that's going to dominate your life. So, on this NIA Day of Purpose, I propose that we all just take some time out to love ourselves, to love one another, and respect each other's space, respect each other's choices, respect each other's abilities to be human, as long as it's not hurting you in any way. As long as somebody's not hurting you and not bringing any pain or turmoil to you, live and let live. And thank God for all your blessings. Because every day that you wake up is a blessing in the day of your journey, which we don't know is going to be death. Remains a mysterious thing that only God knows. Yes, only God knows. Yes. How about that? Prove me something different. Show me something different where anybody else can control life and death. No, the righteous books are there for a reason. They're there for reflection. They're there for study. They're there to confer. They're there for you to compare to what your own personal feelings are, as compared to what historically wise people have written down as to what occurred during their times in life and the miraculous things that God have done. So that's basically, what I want to cover for right now for the NIA. The purpose. What was God's purpose for humanity? Okay? And then, what was the dividing point? And when?